The way you've been thinking about your past is the very reason why you're still struggling with your body image or with food. Let me explain. But first, welcome to the Body Ally podcast, where you're learning how to stop battling with your body and with food from a faith-based approach. We learn instead, and what I teach instead, is how to be an ally with your body, how to accept your body as the gift that God intended it to be. We're going to learn how to pursue health goals, not in an effort to prove value, but as an act of love. And I'm your host, Kerrie Nygard. Okay, let's get into it. I want you to think back last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I want you to think back over all the years that you've struggled with your body image, the way you relate to your body, or with food. Think back to when you went on your very first diet. I was about 12 or 13 years old when I did my very first diet, though I thought about it. Probably from the time that I was 8 or 9 years old, I thought I needed to change my body to get her to be more acceptable. Very young. And through all that time, I had some beliefs about myself. Believed I wasn't who I was supposed to be. Believed that if my body looked differently, then I'd be able to be happier in life. I thought if I could just get myself to buckle down and get myself to really control myself around food, then I could finally change the way my body looked, and then I'd get to feel settled in life. I'd get to feel acceptable. I'd get to accept myself, and others would accept me more. I had this story going on in my head, and it was all held up by this idea that I'm not who I'm supposed to be. And there were some variations to that of where my body's not who it's supposed to be. My body's not where it's supposed to be. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And as I constantly thought that, and I didn't even realize I was thinking that. I didn't realize that till many years later. There was this constant thinking, and this was subconscious. I wasn't aware of it. And this is really, really common. And what I want to get you to see is, what am I thinking on repeat about myself, about my body, that's giving me this unintended result in my life? Realize that anytime you're getting an unintended result in your life, it's because you're lacking awareness of how you're thinking and feeling in regards to that part of your life. Let me say this again. If you're getting an unintended result in your life, in any area of your life, it's because you're lacking the knowledge, the awareness over what's going on with the way you're thinking about that part of your life and the way you're feeling about that part of your life. And thoughts and feelings bounce back and forth and feed off of each other. Thoughts create feelings. We then have thoughts about our feelings, and round and round and round we go. Okay? And this creates like a story in our head about that part of our life. Our brain is not a truth teller. It is a storyteller. Our brain is constantly trying to create meaning of ourselves in this world and how we interact with the world and the meanings we want to make about the world. And all of that is projections of ourself and of our thoughts and beliefs and the story that our brain has. And our brain, whatever story our brain has about a particular part of our life, our brain wants to continue to find evidence to continue to believe that story. Your brain would rather be miserable than be wrong. And so your brain will go through great extents to collect evidence and completely ignore other evidence to believe anything different other than this story that's been going on. And so if you don't have awareness over what you're believing about yourself in regards to your body, in regards to food, then you're going to be set up to unintentionally be collecting evidence to believe something about yourself that's the very reason that you're getting the results that you don't desire in regards to your relationship with food and with your body. So let me show you, I'll continue to use myself. So for so long, I thought, not who I'm supposed to be, not where I'm supposed to be, not who I'm supposed to be, constantly thinking that. And it had dawned on me one day, and I was in my mid-30s, when I realized this. I went through this huge shift in the way that I related to my body and to food at that time in my mid-30s. Went on for several years. And it was the very fertile ground for what I now teach to thousands of women today that have helped free them from that. When you're constantly struggling in one area of your life, it's because you're lacking awareness. You have a whole construct of thinking and feeling about that part of your life that's getting you that result. You've created it unintentionally. You didn't mean to create that result for yourself, but you have created it based upon the thoughts and emotions you have about that. So for me to think I'm not who I'm supposed to be, I constantly reaffirmed an identity, a self-identity for myself, that I'm someone who's not where they're supposed to be. They work so hard, yet they're still not where they're supposed to be. And there might be little moments where I get where I'm supposed to be, but I can't stay there because fundamentally I'm someone who is not where I'm supposed to be. And this doesn't make rational sense because all of this is happening in the parts of your brain where your reasonable self doesn't live. Your conscious thinking self occurs up here in your prefrontal cortex, and that's the part of your brain where you apply reasoning, where you look at what is true, what is not. You look at what is my goal, what's helpful, what isn't. Okay, this is the part of your brain that you are assessing. Yet over 90%, way over 90% of our thoughts are automated in our subconscious lower brain thinking. And our lower brain does not have the ability to reason. Our lower brain is survival obsessed. And one of the ways that it tries to get us to survive is by not changing. Our brain wants to continue to believe whatever it has believed, and it doesn't want to let go of that. It wants to continue to feed and only find evidence that will support what I believed. And so my brain on autopilot without my awareness was constantly looking in the mirror, looking at my reflection, looking at the scale, looking at others' responses. And I try to interpret how they'd respond to me, all as a reflection of me not being enough, my body not being what it's supposed to be, me not being enough. And so my brain was collecting evidence to believe this. And this can show up in lots of different ways. With the women that I've worked with, some women have neglected themselves for a long time because they have built up this story in their brain over time for good reason. It's not like we just make these stories up to give ourselves a hard time. It usually originates from when we're young, because our survival when we're young is dependent on those who care for us. And so we have these adaptive skills or these survival skills or adaptations that we pick up along the way that are helpful at some point in our life. But later on in life, when we're trying to do something different or create a new result, our software, the beliefs that we have, becomes outdated, and we can't create what we're striving to create. So for example, I could not find a place of peace and freedom when it came to my food, when it came to my relationship with the food or my relationship with my body, because I had this underlying belief that I'm not who I'm supposed to be. Therefore, I could not interact with food, my relationship with food, or with my body for very long without doing it in a way in which it would then become evidence to believe I'm not who I'm supposed to be, right? Like I would eat just right all throughout the day, and then at night I would binge eat, or I'd overeat, or I'd do great all week long, and then Friday night I would be, overeating the rest of the weekend, right? Because I'm not who I'm supposed to be. I didn't realize that was going on, but as soon as I realized, I believe I'm not who I'm supposed to be, I realized that that's not true. Is it possible for me, truly, is it possible for me to not be who I'm supposed to be? That's not even a thing. I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be in every moment, because how can I not be? And I am not someone who just arrives and stays at this place. I am a soul embodied in this body, traveling throughout time on this earth. I exist outside of my body. At some point, my body will die and I will return to my maker. Therefore, I am not my body, and a health goal is just a health goal. My goals then of losing weight, just a health goal, had nothing to do with me being who I'm supposed to be. I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be. I did not create myself. The Creator, God, created me, and He created me exactly how I'm supposed to be. And He knows that I'm learning and growing in this life. And He knew I was going to make mistakes, which is why there's a Savior, right? All of this has been taken care of by an all-knowing God. I do not have the power to be who I'm not supposed to be. This is a process, and there's ugly parts of this journey, and there's hard parts of this journey, and there's beautiful parts of this journey. But for sure, I don't have the power to outwit God's plan for me. Now, I have agency. I have God's free choice, right? I get to choose things in my life, but I still don't have the power to thwart God's ultimate plan for me. I don't have that kind of power. So it is not possible. It's not true that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. In every moment, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And when I learned to see that I was thinking that and change the way I was thinking, I identified, that's a lie. It's not even possible for me to not be where I'm supposed to be. Then I was able to accept the truth. And the truth is, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in every moment, even if the present moment feels painful. And usually moments of pain come from my believing a lie. Okay? There is suffering inherent in life. There is. And a lot of that suffering is incurred because of lies that we believe, meaning that our brain has come up with. And as we become aware of the meanings of the stories that our brain is telling us, then we can let go of those lies, and then the love and then the acceptance naturally flow. God is love. We exist because of his love. I exist because God, therefore God's love defines me. And if love defines me at any point in my life, if I'm feeling pain and sorrow, it's usually, most likely, not all the time, but most likely it's because I'm believing a lie that's not in alignment with who I truly am. So in regards to my past self, when I realized I was thinking I'm not who I'm supposed to be, I'm like, oh, that's a lie. The truth is I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment because I'm on a journey. Diet mentality sets us up to think that once we have achieved a certain goal weight, that all of our problems in life are over and that then we have arrived and then we get to feel relief and then we can actually be settled in life and then all of a sudden everything in life will be just grand. Truly, it sets us up to think of a health goal as like the promised land of deliverance. It actually becomes, for most, a form of an idol. If I can just get to this place, this health goal, which usually is a certain amount of weight loss, if I can just get to this health goal, then I'll finally be enough. It is not a health goal's job to make us enough. Jesus makes us enough. So realize that diet mentality, the way that it's fed to us, ultimately sets us up to have this false idol, this false God, thinking that we're going to be delivered from our sorrows when we reach a health goal. Realize that your body is worthy of love and acceptance and care right now, regardless if you've reached your health goals or not. Your body is fulfilling the measure of her creation no matter what. And separate from that, you have a health goal. So I'm all about us pursuing health goals, but we do it from a place of love, as acts of love, right? These different habits we instill to move towards a health goal. We do it from a place of love and acceptance, not from a place of desperation to try to earn our love and acceptance. So realizing, oh, Kerrie used to have a story that she's not enough. What is my story? What is my story of lies that my brain's been feeding me that I didn't realize that I've believed for so long? Let me give you some examples of some lies. And I mean, the sky's the limit on this, ladies. There's so many different variations that this shows up, but here's a few common ones. All right. Some women believe that I have to take care of everyone else in order to be worthy, in order to be loved and accepted. I have to take care of everyone else. So much so that they don't take care of themselves or their bodies. So if you believe that in order to be loved and accepted in this world, I have to take care of everyone else, you're believing a lie. That's a lie. Or here's another lie. I'm always trying to lose weight. I'm always trying to lose weight. And if you believe that that's your identity, guess what? Your brain will never allow you to stop trying to lose weight. Even if you get to a goal weight, your brain will make something up so that you're still trying to lose weight. It'll cause you to sabotage behavior, so you'll gain weight, so you're still trying to lose weight because you've created this belief that I'm someone who's always trying to lose weight. Or you believe losing weight is hard. Losing weight's hard. And if you believe that losing weight is hard, you will make it. Your brain will go to work making sure that it's hard for you because you're telling your brain the experience that you're meant to have. Another one is this will always be a struggle for me. I've struggled with this for a long time in my life. I will always struggle. And here's the thing is that our brain, it looks at the future and projects our story about our past onto our future. Our brain not only wants to keep us safe, one of the ways it does that is it predicts the future. And the way it predicts the future is it looks to the story that you have about the past, not the facts you have about the past, but the story you have about the past. Your brain will ignore a whole lot of facts of your past to support a story of lies, okay? And project that into the future. So if you believe I'm always going to struggle with this, then that's the story that your brain will tell you on repeat, whether you're aware of it or not. And that's the experience that you will have. So this is taken care of really simply. Ask yourself, what is the lies? What is the story that I'm believing about my past or about who I am? And is that really true? And if that's actually not true, then what must be true? And when we remove the stumbling block, the thought, right, that's causing the problem, we call them limiting beliefs. Really, they're really just lies your brain has created a lot of evidence to believe, but they're still lies, right? That I'm not worthy or I'm not enough unless I reach a certain place, where the truth is you didn't create yourself. You're already enough for this life. You are not unfit for this life. You exist. Your existence is proof that you are enough for this life. So once you acknowledge the lie, and really acknowledge it, write it out and say, this is a lie, really view it as a lie. Once you're able to identify it and correctly label it as untrue, naturally the truth will come through. So I'm all about affirmations, but if we still are believing the lie, it takes so much longer and so much more work to believe an affirmation if you're holding true to a lie. But if you can correctly identify the lie, Peter Crone talks about that. He says, I'm all about dissolving the lies. And when the lie dissolves, then love will naturally flow. All right, ladies, so give that a try. Look back on your past. What are the things lies I've been believing that have created such a difficult experience right now in this part of my life? And then that will show you the way to the other side. Check down below, ladies. In the description down below, there is some links to different free content. I've come out with a free new live class. I've done it a couple times. It's been amazing. I share 4 key shifts that you have to make in order to move from a place of struggle in this part of your life to a place of peace and ease and flow. I also do Q&A, and I do free coaching on the live coaching call called Peace. It's called Peace with Food and Body. It's a free live class on Zoom that I'm doing periodically. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing it for, but I'm sure enjoying connecting with you all. It's a free class, so check the link down below. Click the link. Join me. I'd be so thrilled to coach you, teach you. Also, be part of this movement. You can be part of this movement, the Body Ally movement, by sharing this podcast, by giving me a rating. When you write a review, when you give me a positive rating, don't give me a 2-star rating. If you don't like it, don't give me a rating. But if you're here still listening, I'm guessing you like it, right? So give me a good rating, write a comment, and then that tells the algorithm this is important to push out to other women like you. So you can help move this Body Ally movement across, helping women accept their bodies as the gift that God intended. You can help this movement. You can join with me in this movement by sharing this message, sharing this podcast with others. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.